Music has become an everyday constant in human beings' lives in today's day and age. And what do I mean by this? Whether you're a musician or not, music is around us, it surrounds us. Whether you're walking down the street, you hear a car playing the radio. You go to a shopping center to buy groceries or clothes, you're gonna hear a Spotify playlist. You go to work, the season's coming up. We're gonna be hearing Mariah Carey every single day of our lives until it's over. Music surrounds us, whether we want it to or not. I grew up in a Pentecostal church. 4 services a week, not including Bible studies or special events, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And each of those services had an hour of worship. I, as a church musician, since the age of 12, had to come in an hour before services to get with the other musicians and prepare the set list in the sense of coming together, analyzing the songs. Sometimes there were repeats, sometimes there were new songs. And when there were new songs, on the car drive over there, I'm listening to the new songs, trying to take it out, analyzing what it is. And since a young age, I've been surrounded by music whether I wanted to or not. And that has shaped my identity in a way. Anyone who knows me knows that music is part of me. It's part of my identity, and a really big part of it is what I'll say. Because everybody that I talk to knows that I'm obsessed with music. Whether it's listening to songs, creating music, which I don't do very often, but when I do, it's just for myself. Or when I'm taking out new songs, I text my friends. They ask me what I'm doing. I'm playing music. I'm learning a new song. I'm learning a new solo. It's always something to do with music. My uncle is the worship leader at my church. My friends, most of them are musicians, or at least very heavily involved in listening to music, different genres, be it what it may. Music is around me in my everyday life. And that can be a both good and bad thing. There was a time in my life where music was literally part of me every day, whether I wanted it to or not. I was in 3 worship groups. I had Friday hangouts with my friends. What did we do? We jammed. Drums, keys, and guitar and vocals. We played songs, we played jazz, we played rock. We played everything under the sun. And every single day, I had to be around music. I was listening to new songs. I was thinking of what I was going to play for a Sunday service. I was thinking of what I'm going to do in this part of the song, what I'm going to do in this part of the song. My mind was fully encapsulated by music. And with that, there comes a time where you get tired. Not tired of music, but tired by being surrounded by music. During this stage in my life, when every single day was either rehearsal or listening to songs, writing notes, writing charts, during this time in my life, I started getting worn out, started getting burnt out. And not necessarily because I stopped loving music, but because I was so surrounded by it in my everyday life that I didn't get a break from it. I didn't get to sit down and enjoy music. Now it's different, of course. I'm surrounded by music, quite literally surrounded by music. I have my pianos, my speakers, my microphones, my other pianos, my amps, my violin that I don't even know how to play, my guitars. I am completely surrounded by music, whether I necessarily want to or not. Now I do. But during that time, I didn't want to be. During that time, I was so enveloped by music, it kind of got to me. And I reached a breaking point, as most musicians or most people that are surrounded by music every day do. We see today sometimes artists take a break from music because they want to focus on other things. They don't love music the same way, and maybe that wasn't me. Not that I stopped loving music. I just wanted to get away from it for a little while. And when I took that decision to exit all of those bands, stop producing and stop giving tips, stop doing sound engineering, it was hard for me. I didn't know what to do with myself because I didn't want to be around music, but I didn't have any other hobbies to do. I tried reading, which I now do a lot, but not as much as music. I tried cooking, but I can't do that 24 hours a day or 6 hours a day even. I tried different things, but nothing could suffice the same way that music did. But I didn't go back to it. I learned to stay away from it. It was around a year or two hiatus where I was away from music, and it helped me grow in a different way. The first couple months, stopped music completely. Stopped listening to it, stopped playing it. I didn't even touch a piano. I think I even sold my only electric guitar that I had. I sold it. And till this day I regret it. I'm looking to buy the same guitar back. It was like a cheap $200 guitar, but the memories that stuck with it, I'll never lose. But slowly and little by little, I started getting back to it. Started putting back in my headphones during class, during work, during school, during whatever. I put my headphones back in. I started listening to songs again. Started saying, ooh, this is good. Started playing it on repeat 20 times till I got tired of it again. And little by little, those things started getting back to me. Started getting me back into music. When I came back, it wasn't the same. And I don't think it ever will be since that moment. And it's a good thing. When you take that hiatus, that break from music, you learn to appreciate the outside things, reading, music, art. But it also teaches you to appreciate music in a new way. And it's what changed me. I don't consider myself a professional musician. The professionalism wise, or like ability or skill wise, I consider myself probably an intermediate. I can play most CCM. I can play some jazz pieces. I can play a little bit of bebop. I don't do it very often. I haven't done it in years. I can play classical, whatever it may be. I consider myself an intermediate musician. And before that break, it was all worship music, which isn't a bad thing, and some classical pieces, Claire de Lune, Spring Waltz. Those were the pieces that I was last working on before I took my break. And I look at it now, and I sit down and think, what changed since that point? And I revisited those pieces recently. I sat down and played some songs from church, and I'll play them right now. But everything was different. And that's what made me fall in love with music again. And that's what the main gist of this video is. Getting back into music. I'm not gonna give you a method because I didn't have a method. I just, after months of zeroing it out, I came back to it, put in a headphone, and was like, I'm a little bored. The teacher's being a little boring. I don't want to hear him talk for too long. Let me put in a headphone and play something random. Let me put on a random radio. And maybe that's a recommendation for some of you. Or maybe for some of you, it's going to a concert, going to a church service and listening to it. Whatever it may be, when you come back to music, you don't come back the same. That hiatus both affects your skills or your ability. For me, I have wrist problems, so I can't play music as much as I'd love to because my wrists hurts, my fingers hurts. I have very bad joints at a very young age is what I'll say. But I enjoy it as much as I can. And now that I'm able to view music differently than before that break, viewing it with a more calmer sense. I'm not necessarily enveloped and surrounded by music the same way. Yes, I still have 4 services. Yes, I still play with my friends. Yes, I still produce music for myself and help with others. I still do sound engineering. I'm still surrounded by music. But the way I interpret it is different. I now view it as how I used to when I first started, and even then a little different. Something I loved, something that fascinated me, something that I was like, ooh, I gotta go home and play my guitar. I gotta play some Hillsong United, I gotta play some Crowd, or whatever it may be, some Amazing Grace by Phil Wickham, the most recognized Christian song. I now come home from church playing for 2 to 3 hours and get on my guitar and play more because I appreciate it in a different way. That break made me realize how much I loved music and how much I missed it. Getting out of that slump is what I'll call it, because for me it was a slump because I wasn't playing music and I loved music still, but I just wasn't playing it, and it was a slump where I didn't want to play, I didn't want to listen, I didn't want to do anything with music. It's a slump for me. But getting out of that slump, those first steps, it might even be this video. I don't know if this will reach anybody. But taking that first step out and those next steps to come are what make make music when you come back different. I'm not telling you to go take a break. If you're not worn out, enjoy it. If you're not burnt out, play. But if you're getting to that point where music's a little tiring, you still love it, but your fingers hurt a little more, you kind of sit back in your chair and you're on your phone a little more when you play. Or maybe you just don't take as many gigs. Whatever the reason may be, if you can, take that break. If you can, sit back, enjoy, relax, enjoy yourself in other ways, because music will be waiting for you when you come back. And when you come back, it'll be a whole new experience. Getting out of that slump is a hard thing to do, and those little steps lead to a bigger step. And when you finally get back sort of in the same rhythm, maybe you start playing a little more, start jamming out a little more, have a little more fun, get lost in it again. When you do that, music will be different for the better. You may be surrounded, you may be even watching this video to see, I kind of want to give up. I kind of want to let it go for a while. And maybe you do, and maybe you don't. But the point of this video is to tell you that when you come back, it'll be different. Hopefully for the better. Take that break. Experience the world in new eyes without music, so that when you come back, you experience music with new eyes, fresher eyes. And I don't know how to end off videos, but keep that in mind. Music will always be there. Take a break, come back. Enjoy life with or without music. If you're tired and burned out, do it. If you're not, enjoy yourself. But when you get out of that slump, know that music will be different for the better, and enjoy it while you can. If you like this little, commentary video, I don't know what to call it, leave a like, leave a subscribe. If it helped you, if you have any questions, comments, maybe you have a different perspective, maybe you didn't come back to music, comment it below. I'd love to hear about it. And see ya.